You know, Xena, Kylo hasn't been treating me right, and I'm kind of looking for a new way to live in here. And you're looking mighty fine these days.
Hot dogs and tater tots!
Hot dogs? What? Oh, shit! Oh, I can't run that fast! This guy must be out of mayonnaise or something. I don't know what.
Hot dogs and tater tots!
Jesus Christ, I can't run this much. Oh, Jesus, steps. Oh, Pocan! Pocan! Hot dogs and tater tots! Hot dogs and tater tots. Dave needs us.
Pig nuts. Hot dogs and tater tots! That crazy son of a bitch. It may just work.
Hot dogs, tater tots. Let's do this.
What up, Blasted Assassin fans? That is our intro to our contest of Would You Rather 2. Miss Sosa, that was brilliant. Double S is doing a smiley emoji as well as Legion doing a laughing emoji. Thank you guys for jumping in here. We'll have more info on that contest right now. So we're doing that Would You Rather. All the questions are down below in the description of the video. There are 5 questions total. You have to do a video entry. I'm sorry, did I say 5? Sorry. 7 questions total, 18 and up. America, live in the United States or Canada. It is live as of tonight, ends the end of May 31st at midnight. So we got to do a video of those top 7 questions and put them in there, and we each get a gift box from each one of us. Yes, Mike, go ahead.
Are we going to run through them or the questions?
If you want, you go right ahead. You have that list. You go to run through what the questions are. If you at home, you're watching right now, get a pen and pencil, write these down so you know it. You don't have to look in those comments down below. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. If not, you could get them from the comments down below. Like Dave said, this is Would You Rather 2, the sequel to a contest we had a couple years ago that got some great responses. So, 18 and up. Sub to all of us, plus this Blaster Stash It channel, which a lot of you already are. You got to be in the U.S. or Canada because shipping and stuff. Make a video, then answer these 7 questions. First of all, you're a young, force-sensitive child. Would you rather take the path of a Jedi or take the path of a Sith, and why? You got to explain it. Be creative with it. Show some comics. Show some action figures. Next one is we did this question last year as well. This time we're mixing it up a little bit. Would you rather, for the rest of your life, the other one goes away for good, read only Image and Indy books or Marvel and DC books, and why? All right, next one. Question number 3. You're a big-time writer for a comic book. You have the great idea. Everybody's down for it. You work for whatever company you want to work for, but you can only have one artist on your book. And, you got to make this thing shine. You could either have Peach Momoko or Rob Liefield. Which one would you rather have and why? Next one is, would you rather be a consultant, butler, maid / whatever for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and why? Next one is, would you rather, or would you be capable of surviving an alien / xenomorph invasion or the Predator invasion? And why do you think you could make it through? The sixth one, would you rather marry Teela / He-Man for you females out there?
Or males, we don't judge.
Yeah, we don't judge. Or lionO / cheetara.
Cheetara, meow.
Wow. The last one is a repeat question from last Would You Rather, the first version. Last question is, you have one day. Who would you rather hang out with? Myself, Huey's Comics, or Pocan Joe? And why? And so bestiality is on the table, huh? Yeah. Hey, man, whatever floats your boat. But that is it. We're going to run it through to May 31st and probably announce the winner on that Friday on June 4th. You'll get a prize box from each of us. I got a couple prizes already going here. First off, I'm going to give away this the Batman Detective Cal New variant. So that'll be one of the prizes. Plus, I got a Funko Pop that's valued at $30. Plus, I'm going to throw a bunch more books in there, some other stuff. So, but that is it.
Some of the comments in the chat. One question should be added. What would you rather call Michael? Ass Goblin, Butt Dumpling, or Turd Burglar?
Who is that? Who said that?
That was Double S. That was Double S.
Double S is disqualified from this contest.
Now, mind you, the one winner gets 3 boxes from one from each of us. Mm-hmm. So I think we're stepping up the gift gaming here. So come, bring the funny. Bring the funny.
Yeah. Yep. And I think the winner is going to be picking randomly. We're not going to choose, like as in what we think is best. We're going to put everybody in a wheel and just choose a winner that way.
Really do something great. I'm just being honest. I'm leaving my options open here.
That last one too. That who would you rather spend a day with? You can almost do like a married date kill if you wanted to. I think with that one, that's up to you. I don't know if we put that kind of twist on it, Mike. Just throwing it out there. Okay, so it's the first time catchy show. What we do is we pick up the comics. The comic book Wednesday, we give them a read. We blast the books. We hate. We stash books. Like yes, Mike.
Legion asked, where do we need to send this video once we make it?
Yeah. I think what we're going to do is post it on your channel, post it on YouTube, and are we doing hashtag hot dog? Tater tot?
Yeah, hashtag hot dog tater tot. Yeah.
Hashtag it and just say your video entry, whatever.
Yeah, or just go to one of our videos and let us know, hey, you son of a bitch, I made a video over on my channel.
Yeah, you just comment. Just make sure you get entered. Because I know my box is going to be awesome.
And we'll be checking
he's still
every
excited.
day. We'll be checking every day for videos, and we'll keep each other updated. We'll keep a list of people, and on our videos, we'll run through who we got entered. And if you don't hear your name, let us know. Hey, you dumb shit!
Yeah,
I made a video a couple days.
We'll also make a playlist on our channel with those videos in it, like I did before with the previous contest and stuff like that. So look into that playlist. Would you rather 2 playlist? And if your video's in there, you're entered. If it's not, get a hold of one of us and let us know. So
also tell your friends about it. Share this out there. Trust me, we have a great time doing this. A lot of creative people out there. I was in the first one. I had a great time doing it.
Thinking of the list too, and talking about social media and all that fun stuff. I'll put the list of questions on our Twitter page as well as our Facebook page as well, with the contest rules and entries and stuff like that. So you can look over there as well. So, and I've already put a hashtag Hot Dog Tater Tots on Twitter, so you can go and hashtag that and connect it right into with the rest of the stuff that I've been posting with these little promos and everything else we going. I know Mike and Joe are going to get the video that we started this show off tonight with, and they're going to have it on their channel promoting as well. We got Double S said he's going to put his name in the hat. Legion says, I'm going to definitely send it out. Got a few groups I'm on that will love this. So awesome. Definitely appreciate it, Legion. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, and wherever you put your video, if you do it on Facebook or Instagram, or it doesn't have to be on YouTube. I don't think it has to be on YouTube, does it?
No.
It doesn't have to be on YouTube, no, but I mean,
we would like to see
that's
it on
what most
YouTube,
people.
But, if it's on, Facebook or whatever, just let us know.
Yep. Like I said, it's easier on YouTube as well, just because we can put it in that playlist so we know the contest, the entries into it. We do have a new sub to our channel, Zoe and Pops Hope and Comics or something like that. They just sub to our channel here. I'll actually show it. What are you playing with over there? Somebody's playing with something. Somebody's mic's all squirkling up. I think it's Mike's. I think Mike has a second mic in his pants somewhere. That's what it is.
You want to come talk in it?
Hot dog and tater tots. Shut up. God dang it. I walked right into that one, didn't I? You can also go to Teespring and check out our cool Blasted or Stash It t-shirt like that, or the I Like Batman and Beer, Pocan Joe. Go check out those. So let's talk about what else we've been doing this week. I have not really watched much of it. I did watch Mortal Kombat finally. Now, I'm not the biggest Mortal Kombat fan in the world. I did play the first game, never really got anything else after that because my parents thought the game was bad and too violent for me to play, so I was sheltered. No, that's not what happened. But I mean, it was okay. It definitely was more of a fan service movie, I think. If you're a hardcore Mortal Kombat fan, you absolutely love it. Kano carried the movie, though, entirely. He was the best character in the whole thing. I mean, I'll watch the second one if we put a second one out. But other than that, I don't think I've watched anything else. No, I'm not even caught up yet on Invincible. But that's my week in a nutshell. What about you, Mike?
I started Deadly Class, which is pretty good. It's like Harry Potter with assassins.
And a lot darker.
No hero. Shit. I think I'm on episode 3. I got to wait for the wife to... Trying to get us to watch a show together is like a space shuttle launch. So... my tattoo artist called on Wednesday and said, hey, I got an opening tonight, so I got some more work done. Let me stand up this time.
Oh, whoa.
Where's my name?
Now it's a party.
So
we need that macro lens. Very nice. Very nice. Are you going to get colors or is this going to be black and white?
Black and white. And working.
Legion said he's a big Mortal Kombat fan, but it sucked. He hated it.
The story's horrible.
Yeah, that story made no sense.
Like they get these special powers from these emblems on the body. No, that never happens in any of the Mortal Kombat games. And I've owned pretty much all of them. Whatever.
Well, I mean, the main character wasn't even a character in a game, right?
Right.
I thought it was kind of weird.
Artist guy, the MMA guy, yeah.
Jeremy says, should I join? I'm at work and bored. Did you read any comics this week, Jeremy?
Yeah.
I've been chit-chatting with Jeremy, though. Jeremy's a big audiobook guy, too. I listen to audiobooks on my commute back and forth to work and when I'm working by myself or whatever. So we've been chit-chatting about audiobooks in our chat. So Legion says the story, action, acting, graphics all sucked. That was his opinion of it. Wow. Jeremy said it was fun, but had issues with it, but still had fun, though. I had double S back in. Okay, let's jump into the books.
So you guys are gonna have to carry me because I took no notes.
We always do. We always do.
Yeah, I thought the whole note taking was relatively new for you.
No.
What? We didn't talk about Joe. What else did you do this week? You watch anything, or you've been?
Yeah, I finished Deadly Class. Actually, Mike turned me on to it, and I just got hooked on it, and just stayed up late and burned through that. And I'll tell you what, it's so good. There's like I said, there's no heroes in this thing. Everybody's just messed up. It reminded me of 90s wrestling. It was just all attitude. It was beautiful. And then you got like teenagers trying to be deep, like 80s deep, because the thing takes place in the 80s. And really, they're just stupid, high, and drunk and don't understand reality. And it's great.
I wonder if... Go ahead.
I was going to say, all the kids in the school are like kids of mafia leaders and the Mexican cartel. And, the Yakuza.
And they try to do like a class warfare thing with it's weird, but it's great. What else did I do? I haven't got caught up on. Yeah, I haven't gotten caught up on Invincible yet. I haven't been able to watch that. Me and Mikey were doing a video, so no. I think there's a comic book swap tomorrow. Is that right? May 1st? Mikey?
Yes, I'm not going to be able to go though. Unless I get off super, super early.
That's really sad. I'm kidding, buddy. It's not a Comic-Con without you.
It's not really a Comic-Con.
It's close enough. It's all we got. What else have I been watching? Not really a whole lot. It's just nothing on. So, yeah, that's it for me.
And don't forget to go check out Mike's OnlyFans page, where he shows a little bit more under that paywall. So
I have a question. What's the difference between fans only and OnlyFans?
I don't know. I don't do any of that stuff.
Sites. It's weird.
Are they? I don't know.
Yeah. Never mind.
You're not even going to go there. Do you have a link to your OnlyFans page, Mike?
I'm just saying. I'm thinking about making a little extra money.
Nobody wants to see the early 40s male OnlyFans page. Maybe somebody might. I don't know. According to TikTok, there are tons of girls that like the chubby bearded guy. I have no clue. I think it's all a bunch of crap. Okay, let's jump into comics. Joe, why don't you start us out with the comic this week?
Let's go ahead and launch off with the most obvious thing that happened this week. Because Bubba, DC has been stepping up their game. Let's go ahead and talk about this. I know everybody read it. Let's go ahead and get this over with. Right? Robin, I don't know if I like this. It starts off really great, but it starts off like Mortal Kombat. Like everybody's got to go to this big tournament on some mysterious island out in the middle of nowhere. It has something to do with the Lazarus Pit, because that's the draw, right? We all know what the Lazarus Pit is. We get introduced to a couple of characters actually, but one by name. She refers to herself as Flatline. Now, my speculation on this is Flatline is the daughter of a known somebody. I'm going to go with villain on this one, but could be a hero either way. But I think it's a known character's kid that's involved in this. I don't know why. It just stuck in my head. I like the artwork in it. I like the dialogue in it. Like the dialogue's really great. Set up for the story. Okay, tournament. I don't really care about the MacGuffin that gets you to the fighting and the action. But Bubba, we pick it up right up there. And I don't know why it is. Generally, I hate egotistical characters. Like they tend to get on my nerves a little bit. But for some reason, I like Damien, especially in this one. Like he's a little smart ass in this one. And he dies at the end. Spoiler warning. Did he though? Like, no, he didn't, right? But something happened to him, and they'll probably put him in the Lazarus Pit or whatever the case is. But he's coming back. I like this. If I had one major gripe about this, it's actually this cover, right? And if you look at it from like right here, you're like, oh, that's a hot cover. That's what the character does, right? But he's got old man grumpy face. Look at them lips and that chin right there. Tell me that's not a child. That's a grown man that's lived a very hard life manufacturing cars or something. It's not a child's face. I just thought that was odd. That's my review. 50-50.
Yeah, I'm right there with you with Mortal Kombat. Just finishing Mortal Kombat and then reading this, I'm like, dude, this is Mortal Kombat in a DC world, essentially. I actually thought it was really good. This is probably my, I think it's my pick of the week if I'm looking through all my books here. Well, maybe close pick of the week. But I tell you what, even the end scene, Kano wins. You know, that's it. I mean, that's as close to Mortal Kombat as you're going to get with this book. But I did enjoy it. But I mean, you talked about you didn't like the egotistical kind of character, but that is Damien to a T. He's that person every single book he's in, you know, and I think that's where kind of some of the appeal from me. He's overconfident, you know, he thinks he can do it. And even in the other Batman story, the Batman Black and White, I'm talking about here later, same thing. He thinks he knows what's best, even though he's only, 12, 13 years old. But overall, I think this is a great issue. I'm looking forward to issue 2 for sure. Mike, your microphone is chirping up a storm tonight.
Okay.
It sounds like the baby monitor from that Mel Gibson Alien movie. But you're up. What do you think of Robin?
It is my
Numero uno.
It is my pick of the week as well.
Oh, nice. Very nice. 2 against 1.
I absolutely love it. The only thing I don't like, as soon as you open the book, who do you get? Batman. I was like, really? You had to throw his ass in there? Because they're all looking for Damien. He's off the grid. He's out, you know, fighting reptile and shit. Or King Snake. Whatever. Gets his heart ripped out at the end. He's not going to die. We got a lot of story to tell. I absolutely loved it. So,
yeah, I agree with Legion too. It says Joshua Williamson doesn't disappoint. I really like the beginning of his Flash run too, with this with the rebirth stuff. I don't know if he's still even on Flash. I dropped Flash quite a bit ago, but I was really digging it the very first of it. So you're still reading Flash, aren't you, Mike?
No, I dropped off this new. Ever since they came back after what do you call? It hasn't. I didn't like it.
The future state stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of Flash.
Okay, let's talk about Batman Black and White. Again, too, this is just like an anthology, just miscellaneous Batman stories, of course, in black and white. But my favorite story is the very first one where Bruce and Damien are going to go meet the mafia people on the dock. And Bruce is trying to tell them to plan. Hey, they're going to meet over there. This is what I want you to do. And then I'm going to do this and this. And you wait for me to call you to do this and this. You know, because he's trying to set it up. He's trying to explain to him there's more to it than going and beating up the guys. There's a psychology to it. The flashing from the muzzles of the pistols and rifles going off puts a shadow of the bat on the wall, which instills more fear, which throws them off their game a little bit more. So he's trying to show this to Damien. And at the end, when they're getting ready to pounce on this mafia crew, Damien just goes, I'm going for it. And he starts kicking their ass, you know? So it's a very different style of how they do it. He's trying to be that father figure, but Damien's just too arrogant. Whoa, what was that? Apparently Mike didn't like this book. I'm going to mute him just for a second. He's farting all over my book. But overall, that first story was my absolute favorite story of this book altogether. Mike, did you read this? Let me unmute you first. I know. I don't know where he went to. Did he go? Showing his pig nips.
Still has a ball. That's weird. I'll talk about
What about you? What about you, Joe?
So, yeah, I saw this, and I saw one of my favorite DC villains, Boom, the Riddler, right? Love me some Riddler. So I picked this up and I dropped this after issue 1 because I was like, oh, it's another anthology thing, a bunch of different stories, a bunch of writers, a bunch of different takes. And sometimes you just get annoyed with, too much Batman. The first story in here, I don't know why this bothered me so bad, but I was like, what the hell is this? So this whole BMX bro dad thing that's going down. Right,
we're gonna mountain bike through Gotham.
That's not even a mountain bike, dude. That's straight BMX, 1980s, the movie Rad, BMX dad, bro dad. I don't know why that bothered me, but I was like, that's stupid. But the story in itself was pretty good. The rest of them are kind of hit and miss for me. And the build your own adventure game, again, they did the exact opposite than what they did in the Deadpool one did. No matter what you choose in it, Batman wins.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go through it making certain choices and then you make the exact opposite choice to the end, it doesn't matter. Batman wins. No matter what you do, Batman wins. They did that in Deadpool where no matter what you do, Deadpool loses. It was funny. I thought that was funny. If you take time to actually do it, you'll laugh. It's kind of comical how they did it. But the rest of this was just like the whole Harvey Dent thing with the bartender. Like I thought that was stupid. Like I was like, who was the bartender? Like I was confused. I was like, was it his wife? Was it who was the bartender?
Yeah. I think it was his wife. That's what I got from it. But
that's what I thought too. But you would think if Harvey Dent is sitting from across from his wife drinking, it's like, oh look, my wife's right there. Maybe I shouldn't get drunk. Oh no. And the whole weird thing about kiss her at the wedding thing, like I don't know why that was an issue. Did you see that?
I'd have to look back at that again.
Yeah, they had the whole 2 panels of dialogue about that. Like that was a problem, and I was like, I don't know. I'm glad I got the cover. I'm glad I got to see one of my favorite villains. As far as I'm concerned, it's just not used enough. But for the most part, overall, the book's a blast for me.
Mike, did you read this?
What is that? Batman Black and White?
Yeah.
No.
But you're up with your book, Mike. What else did you read this week?
I read Berserker #2, and we're snatching this. Basically, this whole book is an origin story of how he became the Berserker, and he's like a little baby Jesus. Yes. Pretty much.
No, I think he's very different.
So immaculate conception, from their God, and they show him, tearing shit up as a little kid, and I thought it was pretty good. So we'll see where it goes.
Which cover did you get? This came out with a zillion covers too. Yeah, I just got that. I don't know. Oh, what'd you get? What is that? Like the one per 500 stores?
The tiny, shiny one. I went back to the 90s.
What about you, Joe? What'd you think of Berserker?
I like this. I think it's so sometimes when we get and I have tons of Silver Age, even Golden Age books that do this. They introduce a character, they plop them, and then it's like years before you get their origin story. Like the whole thing on the Mandarin, right? That's a whole thing where his origin story wasn't told to almost the Silver Age, right? Like late Silver Age. So this was kind of good in the context of, what exactly are we dealing with this character? Yeah, he's a berserker because he can live forever, but he's more than that. There's actually something inside him, whatever that is, that makes him go into this rage, right? Like there's something in him that makes him do it, that hungers for it. I thought that was good. Instead of just being a thirsty warlord, or something along those lines. No, there's actually something wrong with him, if you will, right? That makes him act this way. And once it was fed that first time, it just keeps going, right? I think it's a good explanation for why he does what he does. But don't get confused. This is not a deep story. This is, action, blood, guts. I wouldn't be looking too deep for a meaning in this entire story. But you know what? When you read 10 to 15 comic books, before you do a show, this is a great break. just blood, guts, and violence. So, yeah, this is definitely a stash for me.
Yeah, definitely a stash for me. This is like my co-stash of the week. It wasn't even on my pull list, so wasn't even going to pick it up. Stopped at the other comic book store, ended up grabbing it because I saw it was out. I kept thinking of when he's telling the story when he's a kid, and the therapist, whoever's with him, is like, no, stop, go back further, or she's trying to get him to remember other parts. I kept thinking of, and I know one of the games was that way. Why can't I think of what it's called? You can climb on top of the church and bail off in a pile of hay.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of Assassin's Creed. How I know there's one of those story arcs when he's like reliving the time. I'm not sure if all of them are that way, but
Pretty much.
It's just a memory. So that's why I got kind of Assassin's Creed feel kind of from it too. And of course, then we get the circle back. Jen, what's her last name? Saki or whatever her name is. She's circling back. So she keeps like, oh, we'll circle back to that. But overall, yeah, this is not a deep book for sure. This is just raw, plain rage.
He rips a cheetah in half.
I know. But definitely an awesome book. And Mike said it too. I was thinking like, oh, he's kind of like a demented baby Jesus. He's born from the god and part human, part god, and kind of a Hercules kind of story too, I guess, a little bit there.
Questioning the whole story to begin with. He doesn't actually know how he was born. He just listened to his mom. As far as I'm concerned, mommy and daddy went into a cave, did a bunch of shrooms, did some womp, and then told everybody our kid's magical.
Just like Jesus.
Just like Jesus. He was not born in a Granger, though. He was born in a cave. A dank, dark, wet cave. So, definitely co-stash of the week for sure.
Vagina, whatever.
Whatever you want to call it. Meat flaps. Joe, you're up. What do you got for us, man?
I know you guys didn't read it, but I'm going to talk about it. Action Comics number 1030. The reason why I'm going to talk about this book is because you, as a human being, wherever the hell you're at, you will never, ever, ever in a million years have the friendship that is displayed in this book, and it's a real shame. Superboy and Damien. Superboy and Damien, and this is how we should express ourselves to our closest friends. They're literally sitting there talking about their problems the way adults should, and they're talking about everything. And Damien finally breaks out with the whole, dude, you do realize your name is Superboy, and I'm paraphrasing. You're literally your dad's replacement. You understand that, right? Like that's literally your thing. And then when the tides got turned a little bit, of course, it got shut down because it's Damien. They got to go do their thing, right? And this is my pick of the week, not even for everything else that happened in the book, although it was cool. I don't think it's a different writer. No, it's Johnson. I don't know what happened. Maybe somebody reeled this guy in. It was like, hey, if you can't start telling stories, Action Comics has got to go away. But this has really been stepping up, and I'm really liking this great dynamic that they have going on in here. Where, yes, we know we got a Superboy story comic book coming soon. We know that there's going to be some sort of... I just hope they don't do the death of Superman thing again. Because God knows.
Now he goes to Battle World.
Yeah, right. Then we know we're in this bubble that's about to burst. Because that's about when it popped the last time. But I'll say this is a great, and it's a dynamic story, and it's very vast. Now, this whole Midnighter story... Is this the one with Midnighter at the end of it? I think so. Let me double check real quick. It has to be. It's my only other DC book. Yeah, the whole Midnighter story, that's just creepy. Midnighter has a I want to say husband, but I don't think that that's correct. But they're cohabitating. We'll put it that way. This whole evil genius that they got working there, which is his alter ego that's stuck in a chip in Midnighter's brain. They're going back to, they're doing the Hitler thing, right? And I'm not trying to be weird about it, but if you go back and kill Hitler, you know, or when he's a baby, just right, they're doing that kind of scenario in the tail end story here. I think that's a little overplayed, but the artwork in it is so creepy. The way they got this face just stretched over some robot, like there's a lot of creepy art in it, but I'm not really behind the story on it because I don't like time stuff. I don't know why time stuff annoys me. It's like holodeck, time, and whoops, I got a magical woo-woo thing, right? Those are my top 3 shortcuts that writers do that are my pet peeves.
A magic woo-woo?
Yeah, the magic woo-woo. Yeah, like, oh, it was all a mystery because I'm magical. It's stupid. But for the most part, the main story in this one, for once, Action Comics got a good main story going. I just hope it doesn't get stupid. Like there's a plan for the ending and the editors are paying attention. So stash.
Mike, you didn't read Action Comics?
No, I did not.
Just double checking here real quick. Okay, let's talk about Detective Comics 1035. You picked this one up, Joe? Good. Mike, you get it too?
Yep.
So this book, of course, picks up what the last one is. Not his flatmate, but one of his neighbors gets kidnapped named Sarah. And so Bruce Wayne's trying to find out where she is. He finds a manhole cover kind of dislodged. He's down in the sewer. He actually finds her body. The police show up not long after that. They think he's the one that murdered her. And so they start opening fire on Batman. And I tell you, I love Dan Moore's art. I absolutely love it. But he does not know much about bullet anatomy at all. Did you notice that, Joe? It was the bullet in the casing and everything flying out of the gun. So,
bullet and the casing. That and like the hips to and not like I'm scoping this stuff out, but it's kind of like a Liefield drawing. Like to look at Liefield's feet, right? Whenever he draws something. Kind of, I don't know. It just seems like the bottom half and top half are disproportionate whenever there's an action scene in this.
I'll have to check that out a little closer. We get a new character, Mr. Worth, who is Sarah's dad. I'm not sure if they're saying he's supposed to be a villain, but really, any parent that their child is murdered, they're going to be pissed off. They're going to want justice, and they're almost going to go any way to do it. So I don't really see much of a villain, to that. And then all of a sudden, the police are sealing off the crime scene with concrete. And so Batman's trying to figure out, that's all the evidence. How are we supposed to find out what happened to her? So there's something more going on in the story, like the police or maybe the mayor has something to do with that as well.
Yeah, the magistrate's coming.
Yeah. And then, of course, at the very end, that reveal, of course, spoilers, Sarah, what we think is Sarah is back from the dead as a zombie walking in the street. I'm like, okay, cool. I guess we'll get some zombie stuff in Batman, Detective Comics. So I thought it was pretty good. I'm definitely enjoying it. Like I said, Dan Moore's art I do like. He did the Santa Claus stuff that I really enjoyed, Claus. But I like his art pretty well. I'll have to check out the body proportions and take a close look at that.
Off to me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
What about you, Mike? What did you think of Detective Comics 1035?
It was all right. I guess now I was gonna pose the question, but now I see why the cops are corrupt. Batman goes down into the sewer to find this body, and the cops start shooting at him. Batman's been doing this shit for like 800 years, and the cops aren't like, "Hey, Batman, what do you got?" They just start opening fire on Batman, but then again, they might be corrupt and everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how many times has Batman saved the world, saved Gotham? They're still shooting at this motherfucker. So, but like I said, they might be corrupt part of the future magistrate or whatever. I don't know. It was all right.
What about you, Joe?
So yeah, this is a short review because you guys hit this up. I liked this, but I have like just like the smallest pet peeve ever. And please discuss this in the chat, argue about it, whatever. How many rich families are there in Gotham? Because like Mr. Worst from Old Money, right? You got the whole Court of Owls, who are all wealthy billionaires there. You got the Wayne family, and like anytime they need a rich villain, one pops up and like dollar dollar, right? Okay, so why is Gotham such a shit town if they got all this money running around there, just randomly walking around? It's right, like, ugh. So whatever. But spoiler, possible speculation. I think this is how the magistrate's going to get funded, right? Mr. Worth, right? He's going to be in there. He's probably going to fund the thing because the city's like, can't afford it. We don't want to do it. Blah blah blah. Now this cat's got a problem. He's all mad with his little mustache. So yeah, okay. So and this is where I kind of now I'm starting to have a problem with Future State, and I'm mad that I read it because I have a great story now and I know the ending. Right? It's like, but for the most part, it's a stash for me. I enjoyed the story. I thought the zombie thing was a little hinky, but I'm sure they're streamlining that out in some way to where it makes some sense. And we've been ignoring the room. Do you mind if I hit up the room real quick?
No, hit up the room, please. I was just going to do that myself. Go ahead.
Hit up the room real quick because we had a lot of people jump in. And again, we appreciate all of you. I'll start up. Miss So, we'll say hi to Mars. Mars Comics jumps into the room. Sleepy Reader, what's going on? 666, and you're right about Once in Future. I like that artwork too. That's great stuff. Let's see here. Who else do we got? Mars. Oh my gosh, the reader. So true. More is amazing on Once in Future. Well, I'll review Once in Future since you guys are talking about it. Gotham is billionaires and ghettos. Pretty much. That's about it. Double S. I would be surprised if they, and it jumped on me, if they had $1 Million Man and Detective Comics as a villain, Joey. It almost seems like they should. Good point about Gotham. Gotham, yeah. Gotham, she corrected her. You don't have to correct yourself in here. We'll catch it. Don't worry. Hey, guys, thank you all for coming in. Definitely, like, what is the deal with this?
I lost track of who. I brought that one up. Now we're back to Mike.
Do we have
Mikey? To? What do you got, Mike?
Let's talk about a shit book.
Yeah.
I gave it a second chance. Harley Quinn #2. I can't stand this fucking artist. Dave, did you
Art's horrible.
Okay,
I did.
I didn't pick it up.
If this Riley Rossmo, dude, man, I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't know. Harley Quinn has some coffee or some shit. I don't know. I can't blast. If get a different artist, maybe I'll read it.
Yeah, the art is definitely blast. Even the story is not even that great either. I picked up the Derek Chu cover. I think that's a cool cover. And so is mainly a cover by kind of for me. But yeah, we have Hugo Strange coming in now. He's going to be helping the downtrodden and the clowns of not as a Gotham, but he's going to be helping him kind of have redemption and be able to rehabilitate. You know, Harley Quinn was wanting to do that role. She wanted to be that person on the street, helping people, you know, being the street level psychiatrist and being able to help people. But now Hugo Strange is coming in and kind of taking her glory, you know, taking all, and he's getting all this fanfare and all this stuff where she wasn't before. And she's getting a little jealous of him. But for some reason, every time I read Hugo Strange talking, all I could hear was Gru from Despicable Me. For some reason, I think it has to do with how the art style is there. You know,
That's great.
It's super
It's wonderful. I can't even do a Gru impression. But yeah, the dude with the tattoo on his second chin, the smiley face Joker tattoo, That's just freaking weird, dude. And it's hard to look, but yeah, this art is atrocious. Did you see the art in the first book, Joe?
No, because crazy can't fix crazy. So I don't read books that promote that stuff.
So yeah, unless it has an awesome cover, I won't be picking up any of Harley Quinn. So this is a blast for me as well.
Yep.
It says Riley used to be cool on really weird indie comics, but now DC seemed to be marketing for young adult line of books. Yeah, I know I recognize the art for something else. I have to look it up and see what else that they worked on. I don't know.
He did Robin King and Death Metal. He did that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I remember that now. Okay. Mm-hmm. Joe, what do you got? Or am I? Yeah, Joe, you're up.
I want to talk about my legit pick of the week real quick. And that's Batman Superman. Again, I don't know what happened over at DC. It's like they brought everybody in and was like, hey, guys, we tried and you failed. And if you don't start writing good shit, we're going to fire you. And then all the next thing you know, the magical whimsy of storytelling just magically happened. This is brilliantly odd, and that's my best way to describe it. It's an Elseworld, non-Elseworld storytelling. It's hard to explain. You got to go back. You got to get the last issue and this issue 16 and then 17 for this to really make sense. So we kind of have our main story. We'll just call it real world, like here, right? You got Batman, Superman. They had to go up and check out the satellite. They crack open the satellite, and there's all this like 1950s film rolling around. And then there's like this villain that's kind of a robot. It's really weird. But apparently he's creating these fictional realities, and he's using the satellite to do it. So he can kind of tell these other stories. And he's like narrating our heroes while they attack him, and he gets upset. He's like a YouTuber that's trying to kayfabe, but the other person doesn't know they're kayfabbing. So it like goes all wrong and weird. Right? That's kind of what this is like. And they brought back one of my favorite MacGuffins of all time, the Kryptonite ring. They brought that back, and I just I don't know why I like that thing. It's one of my favorite things. But then we go into the story where we're kind of doing this Elseworld, where it's like Superman and Batman in two different worlds, and then they converge, and the jokes on one another are kind of funny. You know, it's lighthearted, but it has that really cool 1950s or 40s feel to it at the same time. It's just really brilliantly done. It's somebody that knows the history of these characters and is not scared to kind of fit their imagination into it of what that would look like so the reader doesn't get lost. It's beautifully done. The artwork is beautiful in it, and it's just smartly written. Like if you read through this and there was no pictures and you just read dialogue, you would know which character's who very easily. And it's just, I don't think it's going to get enough credit. So if you haven't picked this up yet, go get 16 and 17. The story makes more sense then. And man, if you don't like it, like I'll reimburse you. Like this is just good.
And
I don't like it.
Did you read it?
No, not yet. I haven't.
No, you didn't read it yet, so I'm not paying for it.
Oh, I see what he was doing there. He was trying to get it.
Yeah, trying to get it.
Now, does that go out to everybody? So if this particular video got 1 million views and we had 1 million people say, I didn't like that book, are you going to reimburse?
No. I don't talk to YouTube. I talk to our fan base, our loyal fan base that came in here and sat in the chat tonight, who I appreciate and love. If you're watching us on the rewind, man, I don't know, man.
Because I would put this out. I would cut this segment out of your review of that book, and I'd plaster it all over saying, hey, Joe's going to reimburse you if you didn't like this book, and see how many people we can get your debt racked
just
up.
Just because I say it doesn't mean I have to do it. Hey, Lou, we'll talk about that tonight in the old corner.
Thinking about that, we're going to jump into the other segment. Let's do that.
là.
Mike, what do you got for your meat and potato pick?
Oh man, I had trouble finding one today. I last minute searching my long boxes upstairs. So I grabbed this. This is Grim Fairy Tales number 66. The Fan Yang cover. I don't know who she is, but yeah.
That looks like a sluttier version of either Baroness or Zatanna.
I'll take your pick. Where are we putting the barbecue sauce today?
Let me do your solo layout there. I don't know, Mike. That's your segment. That's all your thing.
Right there. We're gonna put some barbecue sauce and eat her knees. We're gonna eat her knees.
I would hate to see you single in your Tinder profile. Now that would just be creepy, and that'd be right in his bio. I'll put some barbecue sauce on you. I'll be eating your knees.
You ever meet somebody with a knee fetish? You have now.
Yeah, I have now. Thank you, Mike.
Oh là là.
Sleepy Reader saying now it's a cannibalism show.
Now we're going cannibalism.
Okay, well, since we're just go back to back, let's just do it. Comic book philosophy with Pocan.
All right, you wonderful weirdos. Let me ask you a question. Tonight, we're not going to get into somebody's past or philosophy. Well, let's just talk to you directly. I'm going to ask a very basic question, and you're going to be absolutely wrong when you answer it. I already know because I'm super big brained. You ready for this? Are you a good person? Now that you've done convince yourself you are, why are you a good person? Generally, the argument generally works like this. I do this. I do that. I do. I. Kind of makes you egotistical. Did you lie last week? Did you maybe do something and not get punished for it and not, admit you did that bad thing? Basically, what we're going to talk about today is virtue. What is virtue? You constantly hear the term virtue. But then again, is anybody really virtuous? The answer very simply is no. What you try to do is you try to do the best that you can, knowing that you are failed. What makes you a failed thing? The one thing a lot of people rely on, emotions. Emotions are a horrible thing. Emotions generally kind of cloud your perspective. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't go out and do kind things. But if you do kind things as a justification to be a good person, isn't that egotistical? Is that wrong or not? The truth is, there's no right or wrong answer. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if I asked you why you believe in such and such belief, and we're not going to get weird about this, right? We're just going to kind of jump into this and jump right out of it. If I ask you real quick, or some random, let's say Christian, well, I don't want to go to hell. So you don't want to go to hell, so you do good things. Doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose? Shouldn't we want to do good things? And also, what's our perspective of a good thing? Giving somebody $1 at a corner versus giving them a job versus helping them write a resume or maybe even start a business. At the end of the day, we can only do the best that we can. Therefore, why should we have to justify it? There's your thought experiment for the week. And mind you, I'm one of those people, if you come up with a 2-second answer, I'll give you a 3-hour answer. So definitely kind of ponder that, because that's what philosophy is all about. It's about analyzing and examining our place in the world around us and how we interact with one another. Not so much about us as individuals, just our individuality or in our environment, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Would you like a good example of how this works? This week's Fantastic Four. Thing still has a problem with Mr. Fantastic. Now, I want you to think about that now. This has been going on for years and years and years. Reed Richards constantly does great things and saves humanity and universes and multiverses and everything else he does. But the one thing he can't do, nor have I ever known him to apologize for, is what he did to his best friend at the end of the day. So is Reed Richards a virtuous person? It's a good question. It's definitely something to amaze, and it's definitely something to think about as your interactions happen. That's all I got this week, guys. Thanks.
Comic book philosophy with Pocan. Yeah, Sleepy Reader says philosophy always seems to be about having no answers.
No, there are answers. The answers is based off of, think of it as, well, you have free agency. So you are in yourself your own answer. That's complicated. I'll break this down. Philosophy and religion, right? A lot of things kind of commingle. So you find a philosophy that you believe in and you follow the rules and the doctrines to it. Whereas in religion, as long as you pray to the right person, that sounds bad, right? We're going to get marked for this one. That's going to be bad. As long as you're kind of in with the right deity, like you're good to go, like things get weird, right? So, yeah. And what about accidental good deeds? Not sure. I don't know what an accidental good deed is. I know what you're saying, but if it's a good deed, there's no recognition for it to begin with, if that makes sense. Like it's something that happens, and it's something that should happen. Where it becomes crazy is if the good deed is killing. Like we can go deep on that one. We're going to keep this baseline. Context and purpose. There you go. We don't want to make Mikey fall asleep too hard.
No. My next book is Nuclear Family number 3. You pick up this one, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
So this continues on. So the husband and wife are getting tortured. You know, they're thinking it's supposed to be 1958 when the bomb went off, but now it's 1968. So there's a 10-year gap in time. But at the very beginning of the book, the kids are sitting down and watching the films, like the propaganda films. Now here, commie, you know, he does that. You know, they're the whole cartoon kind of thing, and the kids are separated from their parents, and they don't know what's going on, so they decide to get out of the room and try to sneak out and get out. They end up running into this other boy that saves them from a couple of the guards. To me, that boy looks like he's dressed like from the 80s. So I don't know. To me, that could be like maybe there's a big time jump in here, a time warp kind of thing going on in this facility. I don't know. Maybe it looks like he's from the city. I don't know. Because it just looked like the Take on Me kind of guy. You know that Take,
Yeah.
That cartoon.
It's the white shirt and button-up pants. I think those have been around for a while.
I don't know. To me, it seemed 80s to me. But they're getting chased by the guards. He helps them get away. He's kind of talking a little bit about the facility. And then they're in the air vent and they fall through. And, of course, with any kind of it's not Nazis in this one, but they're commies. We have a testing on zombies and try to build maybe a zombie army or what they're doing. And that's how this book ends, with zombies. That's just kind of a cool cover, though. It's, to me, very like it drew me in. I'm like, dude, that's pretty insane. You know, the boot on Statue of Liberty's neck. It's still good. I like this stuff. So definitely I'll be picking up issue 4.
Yeah, even if this doesn't go, I'm not a fan of this type of artwork in here. It's that very digital, like everything was done on a computer. It's very digital. But I love this story, and I don't know why. Like they did the scapegoat thing, nuclear blast created a time travel event, but it's not a time travel event. It's actually a different reality, right? Because his best friend who's running the facility was his friend selling cars back in the day, right? So it's like, okay, so we're not dealing with time travel. It's different reality. For some random reason, we got zombies going on. It's 1960s, whatever, and the guy that's kind of helping the kids escape, like that's an easy fix. Possibly, it's kind of a spy mental game. They're doing the old CIA thing. Like it has a lot of tropes in it that you can throw everything at, from zombie scientists to nuclear doing weird stuff. All the stuff you don't understand, just throwing a MacGuffin at it. But I like this. I don't know why. I still don't. After issue 3, I don't know if it's just stupid fun or if I'm just like changing. Like I don't know. I shouldn't like this. I should be eating this up and blasting it every week and just reading it for what it is. But I genuinely like this, even though I don't like the art in it. But I like the storyline. I like the dialogue. It's good stuff. I like it. So it's a stash for me. I can't explain it.
Mike, are you still picking up that book?
Yeah, I haven't read it yet though.
Okay, I think it's time to do the weekly comic giveaway brought to you by Rogue City Comics. So last week it was we do it every 2 weeks. So we take the people in our live chat. They get put into a picker wheel, and we give them some random comics. You got something there, Joe? What's up? You want me to wait? I guess not. Oh, he's getting more brewskis. More beers. Okay, so I'll go ahead and start this then. There we go. Make sure it's up on your screen. There it is. So I got Double S, Jack Yo, Frost, Mars Comics, Tats Comics, First World Brat, Miss So, Fresh News 24/7. Apparently that's a new channel, maybe following, and Legion of Comics. We'll go ahead and spin that. Let me check out the chat again real quick. Mikey Wire, Michael Jordan Pops, $30. That's what the Double S wanted to know.
One Walmart.
No, Jeremy.
It's that one Walmart exclusive from one of the All-Star games. For some reason, they want it doesn't ring up at a normal price. It rang up. I bought it anyway because I'm stupid. So.
Were you last episode, Jeremy? Because we're going from the last 2 episodes. Let me double check that. I think he was. Here, I'll throw Jeremy in there. That's how you spell his name. Oh, we'll go with it. Okay, we're gonna do the spinner. Spin the wheel of comics. That's a long spin, damn. And it is Frosty. So, Frosty, get a hold of me, and we'll get you some random books out to you. All right. Thank you for Rogue City Comics. They're the ones I end up picking those books. I got a whole bunch of books super cheap and just giving them away to you guys. So, thank you guys for that. You want to talk about another book, Mike, or do you want to go to the lightning round and then hopefully Mike or Joe will be back by that time?
Joe's back. We'll do lightning round because I got a lot of books here.
Okay, go do your lightning round.
I picked up probably my favorite character in the Valiant universe, Shadow Man. Number 1, this is pretty good. A bunch of rich people are try to go through the dead side, which Shadow Man protects, and they fuck up. Shadow Man's there to, clean up their mess. Picked up the Marvels, number 1. The only good thing about this was seeing some classic characters. Like what was Human Torch's sidekick? Toro's in this.
Toro.
Yeah, just real classic stuff in there. Teen Titans Academy number 2. I'm still stashing it. I'm intrigued by this whole Red X thing. Crossover number 6. We finally get to see what's in the dome, and it's a bunch of image characters fighting. Whatever. There is an appearance by Hit Girl. And if you notice in the shadows in the big splash page on the upper left, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are hanging out up there. You know I love my turtles.
Turtle.
Miles Morales, Spider-Man, number 25, The Clone Saga. Here we go again. Good thing about this one is, so there's an imposter, a clone, Miles, running around doing stupid shit. And Spider-Man confronts the real Miles, and they get into a little fight, and Miles actually gets the better of him, zaps him in the fucking back of the head, and yeah, it's all right. I'm going to keep picking up Miles regardless. X-Men Legends number 3. Boy, this took a step back. The first 2 issues were great. I did not care for this one, but Apocalypse, Archangel, and Cameron Hodge go throwing it back to that era. Walt Simonson and Louis Simonson do this book. Not my thing. Erratic, number 5 of 5, final issue. Great stuff. Erratic finally versus the principal. I love the character, and we're getting a volume 2 of this that's coming as well. Books that I didn't read. Cyberpunk, You Have My Word, number 1. The game has its flaws. It's horrible, but I love it, so I want to check this out. I haven't read it yet. Nuclear Family number 3.
You like the Keanu Reeves penis flaw. I know you do.
What?
Never mind.
Is there a flaw with his penis?
There is a bug, or there was. It may have patched it by now. Of like you're sitting in the car and Keanu Reeves' character sitting in the back seat or something, and you turn around like his penis is hanging out of his pants. There was a bug in the system.
So when you're creating your character in the beginning, you could make your penis as big as small as you want.
Did you go Mondo?
You go Mondo.
I named my character Tripod.
You sure didn't go Micro?
Darth Vader number 11. Batman Superman number 17, which Joey talked about. Shadecraft number 2. Beta Ray Bill number 2. And Spawn 317.
Nice.
Okay, my lightning round. Other 2 books that I did read this week. Crossover number 6. This is almost more of what characters can I see in the background? That's more interesting to me than the story. I don't know. I'm just kind of off the story. It does not really catch me anymore. It's more like you said. You see the turtles, or you see Hit Girl shows up. Savage Dragon's in there. So a lot of the characters. That's kind of cool to see.
Superhero, the guy that gets you drunk and he gets his superpowers from being. What is the name of that character?
I don't know.
I know it was a book for a while. If you know in the chat, put it in the chat. I vaguely remember that, but I think I want to go find a run of that because that makes me happy. I'm not sure why though.
As you take a big sip of your brewski.
We're getting volume 2 of this as well with what's his name? Chip Zdarsky.
Yeah, it's a Chippy.
Teen Titans Academy number 2. This is the redheaded stepchild of Strange Academy, and it's trying to be like a serious book, but I just can't take it serious. The only thing I do dig in it is that Cyborg keeps calling Nightwing Dick, of course that's his name, but still, when you just say Dick out loud, it's almost like an insult. I think that's what they're trying to play off of. I don't care who Red X is. I could really care less, and I don't think I'm going to be picking up any more of Teen Titans Academy.
Wow, that's a hard drop.
I know. I only picked up this one for the cover, This is Mirka Andolph's Unsacred. This is, I think it's her, covers like a Harley Quinn homage to it. That's the word I picked it up. The story in this has been pretty crap. Then I picked up I picked up Dos.
Dick and piss and.
I got problems, Mike. I got problems. I picked up Dos Lunas, 2 Moons, number 3. Dos Lunas.
Dos Lunas.
Oh.
2 Moons, number 3. I'm still behind on this. I got to read issue 2 before I read this one. So, the bet Chip calls his ride. I bet Chip calls his ride the Chipper. Huh, Joey? That's my book. Those are my books. What do you got, Joe?
I read all my books, and then I got an interesting story to tell everybody. So, as you already know, I read Fantastic Four, number 2. This was an okay story. I wish they would get to whatever this conclusion is with Thing and Mr. Fantastic, with this kind of thing hanging in the air. Obviously, it's a problem. They're either going to have to fight it out or fix it. I don't know. My speculation is something major is going to happen between that friendship, because they've been harping on this now for a while, that's still an underlined issue. Department of Truth. Hey, this thing kind of jumps back and forth. And I've heard a lot of other people's criticisms about it, and they are justified. Like, the art jumps everywhere, the story jumps everywhere. It's very confusing. But if you've noticed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of my books this week dealt with this kind of alternate reality type of thing, and that's really what they're dealing with in here. So it's kind of hard to keep track of. I could see why somebody would want to make a movie of this. It would be very weird, or a show, or whatever it is that's in the works. But this kind of dealt with the whole Denver airport thing, which I find interesting, because I've been to the Denver airport, and it is a genuinely just creepy place. But then they explained why it's so creepy in here, and it's legit, like why it's the way it is. It actually makes sense. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's just weird because of bad decision making and stupid taxpayers' money and worse people making decisions. Crossover number 6. I'm on board with you guys. This is mostly a hey, look at all these characters that you probably don't know much about. But maybe if we put them in a comic book and a show pops up about it, maybe they'll be on Comic Tom 101 Spec Deck Top 10 guys on. Like, I don't know what they're doing. I did catch the turtle thing. Yeah, all through the book that happens. There was a couple things with Spider-Man, Superman in the earlier issues. Once in Future, it's still a solid read. Love Arthurian type stories. I love this whole if you believe, then it can happen type of thing. Also, that's been going on this week. And in this one, I don't want to spoil it for you because it's the end of this volume moving into another one. But King Arthur's coming back, which is great because he makes a great racist, but you can't really call him racist. Well, yeah, I mean, you could call anybody racist. But it's weird, and I like it, and it's unexplainable. It doesn't make sense. But it's good. I can't, like that. That's your review. Good luck with that. Pay to Rate Bill. This is fun because this also plays the same game that Crossover does, where they have the ship, and if you look through it, you'll see people doing comic book art, people writing comic book stories. You'll see long boxes like they did a breakout of the ship. But in this, I have one hang up with it. The whole point of this story is for Beta Ray Bill to go find his own way, right? Like, no more Mjolnir, no more Stonebreaker, nothing from Odin. Like, if you want to be normal, right, you got to find your own way. So while he's walking around his horse face, he's got to find his own way. So what is he going to do? He's going to go steal Sator's sword. Sator from Ragnarok, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just a different character. You're not finding your own way. You're just taking somebody else's thing so you could be normal. Like, the story doesn't make sense, but it's a fun read, and I would definitely recommend it. And that's the only reason why I stash it. That's all I got.
That's all you got? Again, make sure you check out the beginning of this video. We'll have it as an individual video about the contest entry. All that information will be in there. We may edit some more stuff on there. So make sure you do that entry into that and let us know you did the entry so we could save it and get you a name in that prize box for the Would You Rather 2 contest we got going on till the end of May. So you got a whole month to do that. I mean, I think one of Joe's things he's talking about throwing is something from his evil lair for this month. Maybe his project build. That'd be kind of a cool thing to have. Something unique that nobody else is going to have. It came especially from Joe's evil lair. So
somebody thought about you for 30 days and dedicated to making you something.
Yeah, for 30 days.
Never have that good of a friend.
So make sure you get those videos turned in there. Make sure you go check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on TikTok, where I don't know what the hell I'm doing over there. Doing stuff. Mike's on TikTok now. Yeah. You have a Blast Under Statue TikTok?
Oh.
I had to do that. I just do stupid dances, with my daughter. Something like that. Not like some middle-aged men doing stupid dances, doing the white man overbite on there. So go check us out on those lovely channels. And we definitely want to thank Jeremy and Sleepy Reader and Mars Comics, Miss So, Legion of Comics, Double S, and Hidden Gem for coming in tonight, chit-chatting with us, and being part of the show. It's always great to have you guys there interacting because it adds a different aspect to the show versus just doing a recorded, edited video. It's nice to have that live chat because sometimes we get some great jokes and great feedback from you guys that turn into in-jokes for our show. The Raccoon Strangler, all that stuff that we've been doing over the years that... some of that stuff comes from Double S. The Teriyaki Mist, that came from Jeremy when he was on here. So all that fun stuff is a great part of our show. We love having all this live chat in here and talking to us as we're being idiots and talking about comic book, cracking jokes, making fun of each other, all that stuff.
Hey, after this fucking contest, all right?
Okay. Into the contest. I'm going to go ahead and...
we should do contest entries, too. Are we allowed to enter? We're allowed to enter. You didn't say we weren't. You gave the rules. I can.
Well, you can enter, but you won't be eligible for the prizes.
What? You didn't say... You know what? That's some racist bullshit.
Well, let's do... I don't want to do that. I want to do this. We're going to go ahead and start this video again and play it again for the people who may have missed it at the first of it.
Oh, yeah, play it again.
So, whether you blast it, whether you shash it, happy reading, and we will catch you guys next week. Come on, open up.
That's what she said.
Hot dog and tater tots! Hot dog and tater tots! Hot dog and tater tots!
Xena, Kylo hasn't been treating me right, and I'm kind of looking for a new way to live in here. And you're looking mighty fine these days.
Hot dogs and tater tots!
Hot dogs. What? Oh, shit. Oh, I can't run that fast. This guy must be out of mayonnaise or something. I don't know what.
Hot dogs and tater tots!
Jesus Christ, I can't run this much. Oh, Jesus, steps. Oh, Pocan! Hot dogs and tater tots! Hot dogs and tater tots. Dave needs us.
Pig nuts.
crazy son of a bitch. It may just work.
Hot dogs, tater tots. Let's do this.